Development. Danny Marogy, come on up. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, C2, as always, for having us out. March Madness, competition, right? Every one of us know everything in this industry, and a lot of us here have made it through some of the toughest times. One of the things I want to do real quick before I get into this, you know, it just reminds me, I'm going on 15 years now with C2, and just been talking about, yeah, give that a round of applause. I love, you know, it's a great run, and I'm looking forward to the next 10, 15 years together. But one thing I do remember, you know, it's the partnership. We talk about partnership, we talk about trust, we talk about growth, we talk about developing and building, and, you know, none other speaks volumes. We have our Chief Operating Officer from UWM, Melinda Wilner. Let's give her a round of applause. She runs the whole show at UWM, and here to spend time with us here with C2. And Alan Baydoun, our Executive Vice President, everybody knows him, right? Let's give him a round of applause. Now we're talking about basketball. Everybody here has heard of this guy before. 2001 NCAA champion, NBA player, All-American Mateen Cleaves is in the house. Let's give him a round of applause. Our very own marketing team, Courtney and Ellie, are here today. Courtney's coming up next. Let's give them a round of applause as well. And of course, your amazing account executives. We can't do what we do at UWM and C2 without having the best team around. With Sam, we got Mo in the house. We have Victoria and Kimberly Hughes here today as well, too. Let's give them a quick round of applause as well. So I know David hit on C2 funding, and that's something that I'm super excited about and passionate about as well. We're going to go into more details. I'm not going to hit on it too much today. We are going to put a webinar here soon in the next couple weeks, so if anyone's interested in joining. The one thing that hit home with me, you see, like, this referral program is like something I've never heard of. You know, and having the ability, Rollo 2.0. I remember when Rollo first rolled out in 2009, Ron Temko, and you know, 2.0, this is a whole different ballgame. For every originator that we bring on to C2 funding, anybody in this room has the ability to get $100 per loan transaction for life. I mean, that's just unheard of. Round of applause to C2 for putting this together. I mean, it's such an amazing, amazing compensation structure for the banking channel. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right into it. So first and foremost, I know I've hit on this a few times, and I'm going to hit on it again because this is probably one of the best slides I'm passionate about, and everyone knows rates went up in 2022, right? We all kind of got the wind of that, right? Rates kind of went up a little bit, and shit hit the fan, and we didn't realize like what was happening, and it's one of the highest hikes we've ever seen in the industry. Thank you, Feds. But for the most part, I look at the plus side of everything. I look at the glass half full, and what I look at is I notice opportunity out there. I was looking at data prior to coming up here. Does anyone have an idea of the percentage of originators that have dropped from 2021 to January 2024? Any idea? 58% have left the industry. I Googled it right before I came up here. Have left the industry. Think of the opportunity for everyone that's standing in this room right now. Does anyone have an idea on how much business has been originated? How many out here have said to a borrower when they've done a purchase transaction or even a HELOC or a refinance, told them to, what's that saying? Marry the home, date the rate? How many of you in this room have told a client, hey, I'm going to do the loan for you today and I'm going to refinance you later because rates are going to drop? Raise your hand. Should be everybody in this room, right? Imagine every originator out there that's done a loan from 2022 to January 2024. Imagine the amount of opportunity and business that's going to be out there for everyone in this room when these rates do drop. And they will drop. When? Nobody knows. We have ideas. Fourth quarter we've heard third quarter of 2024, but it's coming. And when it comes, are you prepared? Are you ready to take advantage of this market? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? You saw David's slide earlier today, who, by the way, did a fantastic job today. You saw what he posted, C2's licensing. How many states is C2 licensed in? 36, right? Soon to be over 40. Think of the opportunity. How many people in this room are licensed in more than 5 states? Raise your hand. Look at that opportunity in this room. How many keep your hands up if you're licensed in 10 states or more? 15 states or more. I think I can count with my hands here. Think of that opportunity. If you're not licensed in those states, how are you going to get your hands on the $4.5 trillion of business with the average interest rate of in the 7s, in the 7.5 range? I get it, California is one of the biggest markets out there, but there's so much opportunity in other states that everybody can take advantage of. We have tools at UWM, which I'm going to jump into next, that helps you get your hands on that data. Anyone familiar with Property Radar? We just negotiated a very generous discount with that company where it gets your hands on a ton of clients out there where you can't reach just sitting at home or sitting in an office. All under our tools and belts that we've put together for you guys. That's probably one of my favorite ones out there. You want to get hands on data, you want to get hands on interest rates, you want to get hands on loan amounts, check out Property Radar. All you have to do is go to resources and click on grow your business. Every tool that we have to help you grow is sitting right there. Apollo, that's another good one. Gives you ideas. How many of you have received an Apollo lead the last 6 months for your emails? Raise your hand. It's come over to you guys. Okay, a few of you. Opportunity to refinance a borrower. Anyone here familiar with Agent Connect? Does anyone in this room know that we have almost 50 to 100 people sitting, dialing realtors all day and setting appointments with originators in this room? If you don't like the first call, let UWM handle that for you. We have a team of people that sit there all day dialing out to agents and getting agents on the phone. So I had a conversation earlier today with Elva. And Elva goes back and forth between California and I believe it was Montana or Maine? Maryland. There it is, Maryland. Thank you. And she's getting into a new market. And the conversation we were having was, how do I get in with agents? How do I reach out to, are there B&I groups out there? Are there any realtor shows out there? I don't know, but I can tell you right now, Agent Connect does. And we introduced Agent Connect, and now she's going to sign up for Agent Connect, and she's going to be introduced to realtors. We take the hard part out of the way by having that initial conversation with the agent, and then we set that appointment between you and that agent. So take advantage of these tools. I promise you, something here is going to help you take your business to the next level. Who's big on FaceTime with clients? Who sends a lot of emails to clients? Imagine having that email with a video. Has any of you seen a bomb come out from one of your account executives thanking you for your business or sending out updates? Yep, I see that. Put a face with a name, because I promise you, when they see a face with a name, they get more comfortable. They get more relaxed. And we have a great discount with BombBomb that can help everybody in this room utilize and take advantage of. Now, Refi 100, another tool that we offer here at UWM that's going to help everybody in this room get more business. What is Refi 100? Simplify it. Any rate and term refinance that you bring that has not been originated with UWM within the last 12 months, we are going to add 100 basis points on that transaction on those conventional loans. 100 basis points to help you go out and get new business. It cannot be done at UWM within the last 12 months, but how much retail business is out there that you can capitalize on? Any lender, any other lender outside of UWM that you've originated, you can do that loan today. No waiting period. An additional 100 basis points that we're putting on to help you get more loans in the door and help build your book of business so you can help take your business to the next level. That's going through the end of March. So please take advantage of this. It's one of my favorite tools. Next, one of the best topics that we've talked about at UWM. And I remember this, we were sitting in a room with Matt, and execution. Everything I tell you here today doesn't mean anything if we don't execute, right? Now, definition of execution. I'm going to tell you a little story. So I have my 7-year-old boy's in 2nd grade. I have a 5-year-old in kindergarten. Then I have a 3-year-old in pre-threes. And the best part about it is my 7-year-old in 2nd grade comes home with homework every single day. And as a parent, I can look at this a few ways. So my son comes home. He has his homework, right? Some of us say, hey, did you do your homework? And my son says, yeah, Dad, I did my homework. Can I go on my iPad now? And a lot of us think, all right, our job is done, right? How many of us leave it at that? Take it a step further, executing all the way to the end. Mason, you did your homework? Show me. Let me see it. Now we think our job is done, right? Taking execution to the next level. Mason, show me your homework. Let's go over it together. Look at all the answers. Some of us think our job is done then. Mason then goes to school the next day, turns it into his teacher, gets his grade. Did I ask him about that grade? Show me. Let me see that grade. Oh, the ones you got wrong. Let's look at it over together. And let's make sure that we get those right the next time. Same thing in the mortgage industry. when you do your transaction, the borrower will always remember the last thing that happened on the loan. You could have closed the loan in 5 days, but they'll never talk to you again. Why? What was that lasting impression with the client? Did you go to the closing? Did you show up to the closing? You know, at the closing table, there's always a buyer's agent and a seller's agent sitting there and a title company most likely, and a lot of them probably have their hands on a lot of referrals. What are you doing after the loan closes? Are you sending out welcome emails? Are you sending out the BombBomb videos? Are you sending out a closing gift? One of our best tools we have at UWM, which is Memory Maker. We do it all for you. Click a button, send a closing gift. Cutting boards, I think we have these new things now where it's customized ice buckets. I think that's one of the hot things out there right now, customized ice buckets. Again, staying in front of your client and having them know who you are. I saw this stat the other day. It blew my mind, where it's like, I think it was 80% of borrowers had a great transaction, had a great experience with their loan originator, but don't remember who it is. Don't remember who it is. I don't know who I leased my car in September of 2022. I don't remember who my car agent was. I forgot the person's name. I'm going to call that company, but that person failed to stay in front of me, out of sight, out of mind, and I completely forgot who it was, and it was a fantastic experience, but I can't remember the guy's name for the life of me. Dead serious. My car's due up in 8 months, 7 months. That's why it's popping in my head. Again, execution all the way to the end creates success, and that's what separates the good from the great. Take them to the next level. Now, this is probably one of my favorite slides. I don't know if anything I told you today or if anything anybody here told you today is going to work. But what I do know is that doing it doesn't hurt versus not doing it. I'll tell you a little story. Alan Baydoun is sitting in the back right now. 15 years ago, I got on a call, Alan, myself, with Brian Kent. Brian, you in the room? Oh, he's here, so there he is. Okay. We got on a call with Brian Kent 15 years ago, and Brian will remember this because we talk about it all the time. And I said to Brian, hey, we're United Wholesale Mortgage. I'm going to be your #1 lender in the next 12 to 24 months. And you know what Brian said? Yeah, I've heard that 1,000 times. You remember that? I've heard that 1,000 times. You know, and that's typical. You get it. I mean, you're a top mortgage broker in the country. You do a ton of business. You probably hear that from every lender out there. But what I did know, I told myself that day, I'm going to show up to every C2 conference. Alan and I showed up to our first C2 meeting in 2009. Booths did not exist back then. I mean, lenders were showing up, and they just had a table and a couple flyers. Alan and I had a booth flown in. We were laughed at by Wells Fargo. I still remember it like it was yesterday, and there was a chip on my shoulder for the longest time. We were laughed at by Wells Fargo. We were laughed at by Bank of America, and there was one other lender out there. But look at us today. Success is not earned overnight. What you do today is not going to pay off tomorrow. It took us time to get to where we are today, to earn 70% of C2's business. Everybody in this room has the opportunity to grow, and every person in this room has the opportunity to develop. When you're posting social media posts, don't do it for 1 month and stop. It takes time for something to come into fruition. It takes time to see success, because if it was easy, we wouldn't lose 56 or whatever the hell the number was percentage of mortgage originators out there. If this business was easy, we'd have this room filled with 10,000 people. But I can promise you, the more you put in and the more you keep going, the more you're going to dominate and control this market. Thank you very much. Speaking of dominating the market and being the best at what she does, the next person I'm going to bring up is our head of digital marketing. Probably one of the best tools out there that's underutilized to help everyone grow their business. And she's going to go over every little bits and pieces on how to be successful in the digital market space. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up Courtney Smith, head of digital marketing.
Thank you. Do you have the clicker? Perfect. All right. Hi, everybody. They weren't kidding about these lights. All right. My name's Courtney Smith. I lead digital marketing, which is essentially social media, paid media, That's my expertise. And as I was preparing for this presentation today, I thought about all of the best practices and tactics that I could pull together that you could implement today to start seeing leads tomorrow. And I'm going to go through what I'm calling a 3-part playbook, and I want you to start to ask yourselves these questions. First, how are clients finding you today? What's your online presence look like? How are new clients finding you? And if I Googled you, what would I find? Second, are you the obvious choice? If I saw a 30-second video from you and I saw one from your competitor, which one would I give a call to? And then third, is the experience that you're offering frictionless? And I don't mean the application process. I mean when I find you online and I follow you and I start paying attention to what you're saying, is what you're saying that you're going to give me exactly what you're giving me? Is the experience of working with you frictionless? Is it easy? And how do you create a process that you can actually scale? And I know Renee earlier said you can pay someone, but I'm going to disagree with that because I think it's very easy with the tools that we have today for you to be able to scale and do really well. So let's get started. How to elevate your online presence? What does that look like today? How many of you guys know what search engine optimization is? Raise your hand. Right? SEO. This used to be only important for your website. Well, that is not the case anymore. In 2023, the last half of 2023, we saw more searches on TikTok than Google combined, which is crazy, right? If you think about the actions that especially Gen Z is taking on social media platforms, they're not going to Google anymore. So how do you set up yourself for success on Google, on social media platforms, so that no matter where someone is searching for you, they can find you? So how many of you have a Google My Business profile? All right, after this, every single one of you will raise your hand. And if you're licensed in multiple states, you can have multiple Google My Business profiles, and you should have multiple profiles. There's 7 things that you should have on your profile that signal to Google that you have a complete profile. The most important are reviews. Number 2, having a high review volume is extremely important. You want to aim for 4 stars or above. But you want to make sure that you're asking for reviews regularly. And after someone leaves you a review, you're going to set up your email notifications. You're going to get that email notification as soon as someone leaves you that review. You'll go to that, you'll like it, you'll comment on it, and then you're going to take it a step further. You're going to pick up the phone, you're going to text that borrower and say, thank you. I want to post about your review on social media, right? Number 1, I skipped over that, is tagged photos. People make a lot of mistakes here because if you think about Google My Business, it's based on the location or the address on your profile. You want to make sure that you're uploading photos of the actual, or from the actual address on your profile. It signals to Google that this is an actual business at this location. Number 3, all of your address and hours should be listed here. If you can afford to have 24 hours listed, do it so that no matter what time someone is searching for a business mortgage near me, your profile is going to rise to the top. Product cards, I love this, and not enough of people are taking advantage of this. If you go on a desktop app and you go to products and services, you can actually upload small graphics. I love this example. Let's say you're an expert in VA loans. I want to showcase that I do VA loans. Here's all the eligibility requirements, and then I can link off back to my website so you can learn more. But this takes up a lot of real estate on your profile that not a lot of people are taking advantage of, and you can have up to 10 different product cards. Social posts. So Google My Business is a social media profile. They want you to post regularly. And if you're using Brand 360's marketing calendar, you can actually schedule your posts from Brand 360 to your Google My Business page. Lastly, you need to have social links. So if any of you have social media profiles, make sure on your Google My Business profile, you're actually linking to your profile here. There's something where it goes from your website to your Google My Business page to your social profile that signals to Google that this is a complete and legitimate business. And then lastly, this isn't something that you would update on your profile, but you need to have activity regularly. So logging into your profile, sending links to your review page, and posting regularly is going to boost your activity and boost your overall search score. So that's a traditional way, right? Now let's talk about how you can optimize your content and your profiles from a social standpoint. As I mentioned earlier, We know that platforms like Instagram and Facebook are writing their own SEO code. So it's not necessarily all about your website. It's how do you make sure that you have keywords rich in your bio and in your content so that when someone's searching on social, your profile is the first thing that pops up. So I love Michael and Tracy, I don't know if you're in here, but these are great examples. They're doing it really well about how to optimize your specific bio. So there's a username and your name and authority, right? Your username is your handle. I suggest you have a handle, and that handle, like SD Mortgage Couple, should be my Instagram handle, it should be my TikTok handle, my Facebook, all the way around, right? We want to make sure that there's some brand consistency. Your name and authority, this is where you use keywords. What state are you located in? What is your expertise? Here they have VA loan experts. It's very obvious what they're good at and how I should connect with them because they have this listed directly on their profile, and those are keywords that I might be searching. Next, you want to have a sub-authority, right? So let's say you do loans, but you also are interested in crypto, and you talk a lot about cryptocurrency, or you like fashion, so you talk a lot about fashion. This is a great place where you can list that here. Also, they tag the C2 Financial page here. This builds authority and credibility for them, too. Next, you want to have a CTA, and I'll talk a lot about CTAs today, but a call to action. What do you want someone to do when they land on your profile? I love this. It's easy. Start your loan app, and then they point directly to the URL. The last thing is a photo with a solid background. I know we love our kids, and I know we love our dogs, but this should be just you, solid photo, a professional photo, that I know when I go to your profile, this is exactly who I'm going to be working with. Let's take this down one more step. So you've got your bios all set up in a good place, and you've worked really hard to create some great content. What should you be putting in the caption to help from an SEO standpoint? Once again, going back to keyword-rich captions. You spent a lot of time creating content. The last thing you want to do is to post it with a fun emoji. That emoji tells the algorithm absolutely nothing about your content, right? So think about your captions as a way of what's the question that a borrower or a real estate agent is going to be asking that my video pays off or my piece of content pays off. And that's what you need to include in your caption. Hashtags are something we're testing too on a regular basis. We're starting to see Instagram actually limit the amount of hashtags that you can use. So I suggest using 5 that are super relevant to your content. All right, so that's how you're going to set up a foundation for success, right? The second part is once someone finds you on social media or on Google, what is their experience? What do they like? What do they not like? And the first thing that I need to recommend everybody to start doing is to creating video content. Video content is the top content that will actually get you in front of new people. If you're scrolling through your feed, there's a good chance that you see everyone that's following you. But if you go to Reels or if you go to YouTube Shorts, right, that's all the people that you aren't necessarily already engaged in following. So video content is going to get you in front of more people. Let's walk through some best practices. Mobile first, we saw the pandemic completely change this. We went from holding our phones like this to this, right? So everything that you should be creating from a video standpoint should be vertical. Next, you have to keep it short. I always say keep it under a minute. If anyone is creating video content today, how many people are creating their own videos? Great. If you're creating your own videos, if you shoot a video that's under a minute, you can post it on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, all within that same video. If you make it any longer, you're going to have to edit, right? And you've got to feature people. People connect with people. They want to, going back to your photo, right, in your profile, they want to know exactly who they're going to work with because it builds your credibility and your authenticity. You've got to make your videos engaging. You've got to hook within those first 3 seconds. And the biggest mistake that I see people make is they introduce themselves. I think it's almost like a comfort tactic, right? We get comfortable because they need to build that time before you start, but cut it out. If I want to know who you are, I'll go to your profile, I'll look at your bio. Next, you want to provide a strong CTA. CTA is what? Call to action, right? What do you want a user to do? If I've watched your entire video all the way through, what's the next step? Include text pop-ups. We know that if someone's watching a video on TikTok, there's a good chance they've got the sound on. But if any other platform is on, there's a good chance that they're not. So make sure you have captions, you've got text pop-ups throughout. All right, so what do you post? we in the marketing world have a fun word, edutainment, right? You guys are experts, you're getting questions every single day. Start writing down those questions and turn it into video content, right? What are mortgage rates today? How much house can I afford? How much do I have to put down? What other questions do you get? One more. What's the rate? One more. What's the cost? Right? What's the process? These are easy questions that could be turned into video content. I'm going to walk through an example, a process that if you implement today, you'll start seeing leads on social. Comment to close. You're going to create a video. Let's say you write a monthly blog. And after you write your blog, you're going to create a video that explains this, and you're going to send people to what would traditionally be the link in your bio to click on that, right? Well, I'm going to change things up. You create a video, 5 affordable neighborhoods in San Diego. In your video, at the very end, you're going to say, comment any keyword, the example here is Mission Valley, for more info. If you comment Mission Valley, right, a user sees your entire video, they want to learn a little bit more, you're going to comment that, and you're going to set up an automation process. There's a tool that I absolutely love called ManyChat, but there's other automation processes or tools called Zapier that could work just as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to set up this process so that if someone says one keyword, something's going to automatically direct message them the link. So this is an example, great. I wrote a blog that I want to send them the direct link to the blog. But you could do the same thing with, hey, I want you to say apply. And the second someone says apply, I'm going to automatically direct message you the link to my application. So you can start this today. ManyChat is a free tool. All you have to do is spend some time to invest in developing what that automation process looks like, and you can start to understand which videos are actually turning you into what we would consider warm leads, right? They're automatically sending you that link and ready to take that next action. All right, so I'm going to take this one step further. These are how to find yourself on social media, right? Creating a great online presence, and then creating video content that you can actually see the conversions happen. How do you turn this into a process that you could replicate over and over and over again? First, we've already talked about it, set up your Google My Business profile. If you don't already know this, you can use your LO partner points. We've got a new partner perk called Social Ordeals that will actually do a Google My Business consultation with you and look at where you rank among your competitors. Second, look at all of your social media profiles today and optimize your bios and all of your handles to make sure you're using keyword-rich captions and keyword in your actual bio. And then spend time, probably like an hour in the beginning, to set up an automation process through ManyChat or Zapier so that as people are using those keyword-rich words or comments in your videos, you're automatically sending them what they need. All right, then I'm going to break this down a little bit further. How many of you guys are using Brand 360 Marketing Calendar? All right, I want to see every one of those hands raised. So spend 30 minutes at the beginning of every single month, and you're going to schedule all of your posts to go out on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 3 days a week, right? Only 3 days through the marketing calendar. Then you're going to spend 30 minutes each week, and you're going to create 3 30-second videos about the most popular questions that you're getting in the last week. 3 30-second videos, that's all you need. You're going to upload those videos into the custom content button within Brand 360 Marketing Calendar on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You've got a full week of content already. Maybe you share a blog on Sunday. Next, I want you to spend 30 minutes each day, block out just 30 minutes commenting, direct messaging people, and engaging with people on social media. You can't just post and expect people to follow you and engage. You've got to actually spend the time engaging as well. And then lastly, you're going to spend 30 minutes each month actually looking at the analytics of your content. Which videos, which pieces of content drove the most comments? Repeat those videos. Which videos just didn't do anything? Maybe you got a lot of views, but not enough engagements. Okay, that meant that the topic was good, but they didn't actually want to take whatever action you were asking them to do. So this is a great process. I wanted to make it simple. The biggest thing I get on a regular basis is people say, hey, I know I have to do this, but if you would just tell me exactly what to do, I'll do it. So do this, stay consistent. Danny already said this, right? It takes what it takes. takes whatever it takes. If you have to be consistent, though, you cannot try this for 1 month and give up. So that's all I have. Thank you so much. I will be in the booth if anyone has any questions after this. But I really appreciate the time, and thank you.